You feel it in your chest right now. You feel the burning, frantic, overwhelming urge to move. You want to break the silence. You want to force an outcome. You want to send that aggressive message, launch that unready project, or burn a bridge just to feel the illusion of control. Your biological vessel is flooded with adrenaline, screaming at you to execute a kinetic strike against reality. Listen to me very carefully. Do not move a single muscle. Drop the illusion of urgency. If you yield to the kinetic panic in your blood today, you will not break through the wall. The wall will break your bones. Look at the celestial algorithm. Today is July 6th. The Matrix has just generated one of the most dangerous, volatile, and unforgiving astrological collisions of the entire month. The impulsive, fiery moon in Aries is moving into an exact conjunction with the massive, freezing concrete wall of retrograde Saturn. Understand the gravity of this event. Every 28 days, the moon sweeps past Saturn, creating a brief window of emotional restriction. But today is different. Saturn is retrograde. Its energy is turned inward, operating like a massive, unyielding gravitational anomaly. It is the Lord of Karma and the architect of time, demanding absolute structural perfection. And right now, it is being struck by the moon in Aries, the archetype of the warrior, the battering ram, the raw spark of unthinking fire. This is the ultimate test of your internal gravity. This is the day the universe audits your discipline. In this transmission, we are going to dissect the brutal physics of this collision. We are going to expose the biological sabotage of your own ego. And I am going to teach you the esoteric protocol of static dominance, how to survive the strike by transforming into an immovable object. Breathe out the fire. Prepare for the impact. To navigate today's transit, you must understand the exact physics of the two forces colliding in your psychological sky. On one side, we have the Aries moon. Aries is unrefined kinetic energy. It is speed, impulse, and the raw desire to conquer space immediately. When the moon crosses this territory, your subconscious mind becomes infected with the belief that speed is the only solution. It generates a visceral biological panic. It tells you that if you do not act immediately, if you do not aggressively push forward right this second, you will lose everything you have built. On the other side, we have Saturn. Saturn is the planet of absolute restriction, inescapable boundaries, and heavy, crushing gravity. It does not negotiate with passion. It does not care about your desires. It only respects time, structure, and flawless architecture. Today, the battering ram hits the concrete. The unawakened masses will fail this test today. Driven by the Aries panic, they will try to force closed doors. They will aggressively push their relationships to the breaking point. They will make massive life decisions out of sheer impatience. They will try to accelerate the timeline of their own evolution. And Saturn will punish them with extreme prejudice. When you throw a spark against heavy concrete, the concrete does not burn. The spark is simply extinguished. When you run headfirst into a brutalist wall, the wall does not move. You break your neck. Today is not a day for kinetic action. Any attempt to speed up the process of your life today will result in a catastrophic structural failure of your reality. Let us audit your current internal reality. Right now, you have a situation in your life that is stagnant. Perhaps it is a goal that is completely stalled. Perhaps someone you desire is ignoring your energy. Perhaps the universe has met your massive ambitions with total, deafening silence. The Aries energy in your nervous system is telling you that this silence is a threat. Your ego is whispering that your lack of forward momentum means you are losing power. Your ego is lying to you. The silence is not a threat. The silence is a Saturnian stress test. The matrix is currently testing the density of your foundation. It is waiting to see if you will break character and act out of desperation. It is waiting to see if you will complain, beg, or show your anxiety. If you send that aggressive message today, you are telling the universe that you lack internal gravity. You are broadcasting that your sovereign architecture cannot survive a moment of stasis. You are proving that you are a kinetic slave to your own adrenaline. True structural power does not need to constantly prove its existence through motion. Look at the heaviest assets in the world. A monolithic mountain does not move to prove its worth. A brutalist concrete pillar does not jump to prove it is tall. They command reality simply by occupying space with unyielding density. Your anxiety is a biological illusion. Do not let your nervous system dismantle the architecture of your life. Look at the archetype on your screen. This is the esoteric visualization of the tower reversed. In its upright position, the tower is catastrophic kinetic destruction. It is the explosive release of built-up pressure that shatters the foundation. It is the ego acting out, throwing a tantrum, and burning down its own sanctuary. Reversed, under the mastery of the architect, the tower represents the ultimate containment of explosive energy. It is the absolute triumph of static structure over kinetic chaos. Look closely at the sovereign. The fireball of Aries panic is flying directly at them. Every biological instinct in the human body screams to flinch, to step back, to raise a shield, to react. They do none of these things because they know that the heavy sapphire wall of Saturn Retrograde is already in place. They do not need to fight the fire because they trust the architecture of their own boundaries. The fireball shatters. The sovereign remains completely unbothered. This is the psychological state you must weaponize today. You must build the sapphire wall between your biological impulses and your physical actions. When the urge to react strikes you today, you will watch it fly toward you. You will feel the heat of the anxiety, but you will not move. You will let the impulse crash against your internal discipline and turn to dust. You win today's battle by doing absolutely nothing. The physics are established. The ego is neutralized. Now, we execute the protocol of static dominance. For the next 24 hours, you are operating under a strict kinetic lockdown. You will apply the discipline of a sniper. The sniper does not pull the trigger just because their finger is sweating. The sniper waits until the mathematics of the wind and the distance are perfect. Today, the wind is a hurricane. Execute these 3 mandates to survive the transit. Mandate 1, the 24-hour action embargo. You are strictly forbidden from initiating any major life changes today. Do not send the long, emotional text. Do not force the confrontation. Do not launch the ambition. Any outbound kinetic energy you release today will bounce off the concrete wall of the matrix and hit you directly in the jaw. Hold the line. The action can wait until the alignment shifts. Mandate 2, the suppression of the ultimatum. Someone or something will try to provoke you today. The Aries energy will demand that you issue a harsh ultimatum and burn the bridge. Do not do it. Saturn Retrograde traps the energy of conflict, meaning the bridge you burn today will collapse on your own head tomorrow. Observe the chaos with cold, dead eyes. Note the failure in your mind. But do not strike. You will execute your moves when the stars align in your favor. Mandate 3, the posture of the monolith. Correct your physical vessel right now. The kinetic panic makes your breathing shallow and your muscles tight. Drop your shoulders. Anchor your feet into the floor. Breathe slowly into the bottom of your stomach. Become physically heavy. When you walk through your environment today, move at half your normal speed. Force reality to adjust to your gravitational pull. The fire has burned itself out. The battering ram has shattered against the concrete, and you are still standing. You have successfully navigated the most dangerous kinetic collision of the month. You did not break your foundation for the sake of speed. You did not sacrifice your sovereign positioning for a moment of adrenaline. You proved to the Matrix that your architecture is heavier than your anxiety. The universe will respect the silence you maintained today. The forces that tested you will realize that you cannot be moved by pressure. You are no longer a kinetic participant in the chaos. You are the static sovereign. Now execute your final structural mandates. First, anchor the code. Hit the subscribe button immediately. The chaotic, unawakened algorithm of the internet is constantly trying to infect you with kinetic panic and cheap urgency. This channel is the only transmission providing the heavy, brutalist esoteric code required to maintain your absolute structural dominance. Do not let your discipline fade tomorrow. Subscribe and lock your mindset to the forge. Second, test your circle. You know another sovereign who is currently losing their mind. You know someone who is about to send a catastrophic, emotional message because they cannot handle the silence of reality. Send them this exact transmission right now. Stop them from breaking their own bones against the wall of Saturn. Elevate your circle by enforcing the discipline of the monolith. Third, hold the line. The moment this video ends, you will not look at your notifications. You will close your screen. You will physically step back from the system, and you will allow the massive, heavy gravity of your existence to work for you in the dark. The spark is dead. The concrete remains. Command the cold, beautiful reality